Rundown. Very happy you're here. Hope you're having a great weekend. My name is Angela Petrilli. I am here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Today's episode is pre-recorded. I've been doing a bit of traveling and gigging these days, but I'm so happy to teach you guys how to play this one today. So we're going to be learning Only Love Can Break Your Heart by Neil Young. Have your acoustic guitar in standard tuning, and I'm going to give you two different options on how to play this. If we want to play it how Neil plays it live in concert, we're going to play it without a capo. However, if you want to play it like the record, okay, all the same chords that we're going to learn today, just put a capo on the second fret. So, like the album, capo on the second fret, all the chords we're learning today. Or if we want to play it like Neil, okay, no capo. All right, so just want to throw that out there, so whatever you want to do. As always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And you guys know I like to ask a question before we get started. So let me know where you are tuning in from today and your favorite heartbreak song. So where you're tuning in from, favorite heartbreak song. Really glad you're here. Get your acoustic guitars in standard tuning. This is going to be fun. So here we go. Only Love Can Break Your Heart by Neil Young. So that's the tune we're going to learn today. It's a really fun one. Again, definitely geared towards the intermediates and the beginners who are watching today. All right, this is going to be a really fun one. So the intro and the verse, exactly the same. So let's go ahead and talk about how to play them. So we're going to get our second finger on the second fret of the A string. Okay, that's our B note. We're going to get our third finger here on G, third fret of the E string, and our first finger on the first fret of the E string, which is F. So we have built a G7 chord. The notes in this chord, G, B, D, 1, 3, 5, and F is the flat 7. So go ahead and strum all 6 strings here. Just like that, okay? And we're going to start off this intro with 3 downward strokes of this G7 chord. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so just like that. From there, we're going to go to a C chord. So from this G7, okay, kind of a cool way to get to C. Watch this. First finger, move it up to the first fret of the B string as your C note. Your third finger and your second finger, bring them down a string. So the third finger should be on the third fret of the A string, that's our C, and your second finger should be the second fret of the D string, which is E. Strum from the A string downward. And again, the tonal setters of the C chord, C, E, and G. 1, 3, 5. They're all there. Okay, so just like that. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to strum the C chord, and we're going to play a C sus2. All we're going to do, okay, that's kind of a crazy chord name. It's not too hard to play. Get that second finger, just move it out of the way, lift it up. So we are replacing that E note with a D note. Just like that. Nice open suspended chord. Okay, so just like that. So for context, sounds like this. Okay, so the next chord we're going to play is going to be an F over C. So what that means is we have the F chord with the C in the bass. So check this out. Leave your first finger where it is, okay, on that C note, first fret of the B string. You're going to get your second finger, second fret of the G string, that's A. Your third finger reaching up to the third fret of the A string, which is C, and your fourth finger placing it just underneath your third finger, okay, on the third fret of the D string. So that is F. So we have F, A, and C. Those are the 3 notes in this chord, and we have that additional C in the bass. So it sounds like this. I want you to omit playing either E string for this chord. Okay, so just like that, strumming from the A string to the B string. Just like that. Now, to play the next chord, which is F sus2 over C, all you're going to do, just like we did with the C sus2 a couple moments ago, just lift up the second finger. Again, replacing the A note with a G note, the sus2. Just like that, okay? And the last chord in this progression is going to be a G chord. So I watched a lot of live versions, and from what I could tell and from what I can hear, a lot of times it seems like Neil just played the top, like the lower part of the chord, okay, and strummed through that G chord through the B string. But sometimes you can kind of hear the high G note here if you place your pinky finger on the third fret of the E string. Okay, so I will leave it up to you which G that you like. I know that if you play G like this, by going to the next chord, which happens to be a G7, all you do is put that first finger on the F note. So I will leave that up to you. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play through the intro, we'll go slowly, we'll build up the speed. Keep in mind that this is also the verse, okay? So we're covering a lot of ground here. And as always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe. All right, so here we go. Nice and slow. Now a little faster. One more time. So that's our intro and our verse. So when we go into the pre-chorus is going to sound like this. Again, with that lead-in of those 3 G7s. Be our pre-chorus. So as you can tell, we're going between two chords, what happens to be a C major 7 and an F over C. But I'm going to give you guys options too on how to voice these chords a little bit differently if you'd like. When he plays it live, he does play it like this. So the C major 7 we're going to do, it's a C chord, but we just lift up the first finger. Okay, so we're adding a B note to a C chord. So check this out. So if that helps you, go to that C chord first and then just lift up the first finger. The chord should sound like this. Beautiful and jazzy and just so welcoming. Okay, so the notes we have here, we have a C note, which is what our third finger is playing, third fret of the A string. Okay, again, we're going back to that E note, second fret of the D string. And then you're going to go ahead and strum through the rest of the string. So you have the open G note, B, and E. Okay. Now, if you'd like, and I noticed when I was listening to the album version, okay, and again, if you want to play the album version, just put a capo on the second fret. This voicing was quite nice as well. Okay, so we're playing a C major 7 in this way, kind of as a bar chord, all right? So if you want to play it that way, let me show you how to do it. You're going to get your first finger, you're going to lay it across, okay, all 5 strings, the A string through the high E string. Okay, you're going to get your second finger now placing that on the 4th fret of the G string. Your third finger goes to the 5th fret of the D string, D as in dog, and then your pinky finger goes to the 5th fret of the B string. Okay, so you could choose to play it this way. Okay, and even include that high E string if you want, that additional G note. Or, a little bit easier, the way that Neil plays it, you can choose to play the C major 7 that way. All right, so again, options with those chord voicings. We're just building chordal syntax, so this is all wonderful for us. Okay, so we play that for 2 measures, so. Or with this version. What Neil does live, okay, he goes to the F over C, in this chord we have played before. However, if you want to play it as a bar chord and just play the regular old F, you can do that too. You can play it that way. So let me show you how to play that. So 1st finger across all 6 strings of the 1st fret. I know some of us don't like this F bar chord, but I gotta throw it in. It's good for us to know. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and get your 2nd finger. Place on the 2nd fret of the G string, that's A. 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the A string is C. And then your 4th finger, 3rd fret of the D string, which is F. Strum everything. And notice I can't see my thumb. I'm pushing through, okay, the back of the neck. Keeping my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger nice and curled while the 1st finger is as straight as I can keep it, okay? So just like that. All right, so if we wanted to play how Neil does it, I'll do a pass like that, and then I'll play it with the optional bar chords, okay? So here we go. Here's the Neil way, kind of the open chords. Let's do this a couple times here. C major 7, F over C. Now let's do the bar chord version. C major 7 to F bar chord. Do that a couple more times here. Let me know how you guys are doing in the comments. Last time. Okay, so I will leave that up to you on which version you'd like to do, all right? So what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna go through an intro, I'm gonna go through a verse, and I'm gonna go through a pre-chorus. Okay, so we're gonna play that together. I'll bridge it just so we have enough time to do everything. So here we go. From the top intro, we'll do the intro twice, we'll do the verse twice, and then we'll get into that pre-chorus and I'll call them out. So here we go, intro. Into our verse. Into our pre-chorus. Let's go ahead and do a pre-chorus as the bar chords. Let's do 2 verses first, the lead in. Here we go. Into our pre-chorus bar chords. So there we go. So there is an intro, verse, and pre-chorus. Now, obviously, we see this as a theme leading into the chorus. We're going to go back to that G7 3 times. So the but only is going to be on those G7 hits, those 3 hits. Okay. So the chorus, I'm going to play it a little bit slower than I did at the top. It's going to sound like this. We have a couple new chords here, and they're quite beautiful. So here we go. Here's the chorus. So just like that. So again, with the chorus, we have that lead up of the G7. And next we have an F major 7 over C. Only thing we're going to do here, pretend we're playing the F over C. Okay? Just a plain F major 7. Now we're including an E into the mix, right? Because F major 7, we have F, A, C, and E. So face, it's a good way to remember the notes in F major 7. So all we do is we have the open E string. Great, let's play it and include that C in the bass. So strum from the A string downward. Beautiful and jazzy. Okay, so that's the chord there. Just like that. And we're gonna go ahead and do 2 measures of this. And then we're going to go to an E minor 7. So when I was watching Neil, from the best of my eye and ears, this is what it sounds like he's doing. So we're going to get our first 2 fingers here. First finger on the 2nd fret of the A string is going to be B. And your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is E. Okay, your 3rd finger, go ahead and place that on the 3rd fret of the B string. So that's a D note. So we think about all the notes that are in E minor 7. So when we have just a regular minor chord, the structure of that chord is going to be 1 flat 3 5. In this case with E minor, just regular E minor. Okay, that would be E, G, and B. However, we have the minor 7. So now we include a flat 7 note, which in this case would be D. So that's what our 3rd finger is playing. Okay, so E, G, B, and D builds an E minor 7. In the case of this chord, we're going to do here. Okay, we have our E minor 7 built and ready to go. We're going to strum from the E string downward, okay, through and ending at the B string. So just like that. It kind of takes his time in hitting that D note. So what I mean by that is he gets it on an upstroke. So he like works his way towards including that D note. It's quite nice. So from the top so far, here's what we have. See what I mean? So work your way into hitting that D note there. Let's go ahead and do that again. Back and forth between the F major 7, E7 here. Pretty cool, isn't it? So after that E minor 7, we're going to go into a D minor 7. And here's how we're going to play this. So we're going to get our first finger, we're going to place it across the 1st fret of the B string, which is a C note, and the 1st fret of the E string, which is F. Okay, so using one finger to press down both of those strings, the same fret. And you're going to get your second finger now, placing that on the second fret of the G string, which is A. So just like this looks like an F triad, right? But we're going to change it completely by including a D in the bass. So the second we do that, we have a D minor 7. We have a D note. Okay, we have an F note, flat 3. We have an A, which is our 5. And then we have a C, which is our flat 7. Another cool way to play a fun jazzy chord, okay? So just like that. When I was watching Neil, that's what it looks like he's doing. Okay. And again, we get 2 measures of that too. We're going to strum from the D string downward. If you happen to catch the low A string, not the end of the world, but try your best to have the D really, that D note there be the foundation. Okay. And from there, we go to a G chord. And if you want to grip it like this, so it makes it easier to get to that G7, you can go ahead and do that too. All right. So I'm going to do here, I'm going to play through it nice and slowly. We'll take our time, and then we'll build up the speed. And as always, be sure to click that thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. It really does help the cause. It helps the algorithm. It helps get these lessons out there to other folks who are learning guitar. So I really encourage you. If you're enjoying the video, click that like, click that subscribe button. And as always, you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear. Link is in the video description below. So let's go ahead and play this chorus. Here we go, nice and slow. Keep repeating this. F major 7 over C, E minor 7, D minor 7, G, G7, now without the commentary. Here we go. So for the second half, the only chord that we're changing, okay, is going to be that E minor 7. That E minor 7, we're just going to leave as a regular E minor. So you would use your second finger on the second fret of the A string, B, and your third finger on the second fret of the D string, E, and strum everything. So again, E, G, and B. 1, flat 3, 5. Okay, so that's the only adjustment we'll do. I will call it out when we get to it. So here we go from the top, G7. Here comes the E minor. Really beautiful melody when we then omit that D note, and then it's so beautiful, and this is just such a fun song to play. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to play through the entire chorus, okay? And we're going to play it a little bit faster. So here we go. like that. From there, we would go right into an intro, into another verse, into another pre-chorus, into a chorus. All right, so having said that, that's the entire song. So what we'll do here, we'll go through each of the parts, we'll run them through, I will call them out, and we'll get you playing this song in no time. All right, so here we go. Here is the intro. We're going to go ahead and do it twice. Verse we'll do twice. We'll go into the pre-chorus and then the chorus, and I'll call them out. So here we go. Intro. Into our verse. Into our pre-chorus. Into our chorus. Into another intro. Let's keep it going. Let's do a verse. Pre-chorus. Into a chorus. There you go. So that is the song. It's such a fun one. It's really fun to play. And again, as I mentioned at the top, that's how Neil plays it live. On the record, it's exactly the same chords. All you would do is just put the capo on the 2nd fret and you're good to go, and you could play along to the recording. Again, just such a beautiful song. It's a really fun one to play. I've gotten a ton of requests for it. So as always, really happy to oblige, and it's one that's been on my list for a while too. It's just such a fun song to play. And it was nice to play this Martin. I know it's new. I've had this guitar quite a long time, but it was really nice to include it on a riff rundown today. So this is my OM 28V Martin guitar, and I have the Fishman Matrix Infinity pickups in this guy. But yeah, it's such a fun song to play. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure had a blast teaching it. As always, I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me run these lessons week after week. And I want to thank all of you. Thanks for being so great. Wishing you much success on your musical journeys as always. Everybody